here with Melanin and Mezcal. My name is Kimberly. You can find me on Instagram by That Girl with the Podcast. Also, I have a podcast called On the Come Up Podcast.
Yes, sir. And what's up, everybody? It's your boy Marco.
And it's the homie Cruz. And we're back at it again with another podcast, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Know we had to get you all right. Bringing the homegirl through. So y'all definitely make sure y'all go show her some love. On the Come Up Podcast. Dope content. Always consistent. Always dropping. Veteran to the game. Veteran to the city. You know, definitely go check her out. She's a really dope person.
And what they say before we get started, we're going to give her flowers. Yes, sir. So make sure y'all tap in with her stuff. And make sure before we get started, y'all like, share, and subscribe. Yes, sir. And once again, shout out to them boys that positively pay. You feel me? Eat the bag. They got us right for sure. Hey, pictures coming soon.
Coming soon. Fire as always. But nonetheless, let me just tell you about a homegirl right here. As a matter of fact, I'll let her do it. Hey, so what's your resume officially? You got model, actress, podcaster. Am I missing a few?
And now, small business owner.
Boom. Let's go. Yeah.
No, so that's dope.
Just adding to the list.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump into the adventure. What made you want to become a small business owner?
You know what's so crazy? I was filling out this questionnaire thing, and it was like, if you had coffee with yourself 5 years ago, what would you say? And I was just like, 5 years ago, I was in my 20s, and I was like, I would never have thought about owning a business. Like, too much, too hard, never. You know, and it was so crazy to me. Now, here I am, 5 years later, you go, girl. Because I'm just I would have never thought. That was always in my mind. I was like, that's too much work. You know, and it was just that's how I always felt about it. And it's just so crazy that it did a 180, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just
so
here we are.
You got a totally different mindset of it's too much work to this is my grind. This is what I want to do now. That's dope.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So what came first, though? The podcast came first?
So if we go back to the very beginning, modeling came first.
Mm-hmm.
And then acting followed. And then I started a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then the podcast studio now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what got you in the modeling?
Podcast studio.
Yeah, facts.
On the whole building.
Thanks. So what got you into the modeling?
The modeling kind of fell into my lap. I went to visit an open house, and it's a modeling school. It's called Bella Modeling School in McKinney, actually. So it was so crazy because I live in Fort Worth. So I drove over an hour to this open house, and I just felt the energy, you know, when you go into a place and you're like, I know I'm here. I know this is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner, she was super nice. I really liked her. And I was like, okay, I have to do this. And so I came back and I just signed up. And next thing you know, it was mid-COVID. It was 2020.
Oh, damn.
In July, there's only 5 people in my class. And I was the oldest one. You know, you had a 9-year-old. There's an 18-year-old. And then you have me in my fucking... Sorry, I don't know if you can cuss on it.
Oh, yeah.
But you have me in my mid-20s going to this modeling school. You know, I felt old as hell, but whatever. Yeah. That's besides the point. But so, yeah, it just went up from there. You know, I met so many people, and I became good friends with the owner. So me and her are actually good friends to this day. And they offered acting classes as well. So I was debating for a while. I was like, should I take these acting classes? And after I had finished the program, because the modeling program was 5 months long. Mm-hmm. And then I did the acting classes. And then after that, it's just been up from there.
That's awesome.
You know what? Me and Marco might need to get some acting classes. We're already doing the modeling thing over here with brands. I mean, might as well step into another lane.
Yeah, might as well, bro. They might see us in the commercial one day or something.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but how was that for you, though? How does that treat you?
It's good. I just do commercial work, but eventually I want to do. My goal is I want to be a detective, in a TV series or something.
That'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Don't ask me why detective. I don't know. I just feel
Oh, that'd be a good.
They just
role for
look
you.
cool, you know. I just feel like that would be the fit. So
Yeah, pulling up on the scene.
yeah.
Yeah, who's in charge here? Yeah, I got it. Send it home. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So those are your favorite shows? All the way.
I used to. Have you ever heard of Manifest?
Oh, I love Manifest with the airplanes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main character, she was a detective, and so I really liked what she did on that show. It's like some show on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was like about like a plane like disappeared and then they came back 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
It was an interesting show, but she played the detective, the main character, so it was I was like, I want to be her.
And he's played detective in other things too that I've seen. She's a great actress for sure. So
I can't remember her name, but
me either.
yeah.
But she does.
I ain't even heard of that before. That sounds good though.
Yeah, Cruz, you gotta tap in.
Yeah, I gotta tap in.
And y'all need to tap into Manifest. Turn it on.
Even the name, it's like
No, for real, it sounds good.
It sounds good. Yeah. Sound intriguing. So after the modeling and the acting, so you say you jumped into the podcast, but what was that catalyst for you that made you want to even jump into the podcast, or who inspired you?
So I always wanted a podcast, right? But I didn't know like about what, or I always just, me and my friend, we would always just like, you know, when you have your girl talk, you're like, dang, we need a podcast. But it was just always like for jokes, like we always joked around. And it wasn't until I had a friend that was like, hey, I have mics if you want to use them. And so I was just like, can you help me? You know, like I really didn't know what I was doing. He goes, yeah, I'll help you. And so he like helped me. And that's how I kind of got like, I don't know if you want to call it a head start because I still didn't know what I was doing. But that's how like I had a jump start, like, because he had the mic. So it was like his equipment I was using at first when I started. And the podcast was going to be like more like lifestyle. That's how I thought. So I thought, right?
Yeah.
Because I actually had a rebrand. So it was, at first, it was called Kimbo's Slice of Life. Like, that's what it was called.
I like that name.
No, for real.
But it was so funny because it was just supposed to be about me, like lifestyle, Kimbo's Slice of Life. And then people are like, well, what if they sue you for Kimbo Slice, you know, the wrestler and stuff. So
that's perfectly fine.
I was like, so that's how it was going to be. But it wasn't until like after the first episode, I interviewed, well, I guess I don't know if you want to call it interview, but I did the first episode with my acting coach. But we just talked about like random stuff. And then it wasn't until like after that, his episode, I interviewed for my second episode was a fellow friend, but she was a model. And she was like a model, like, and she was like 18 and she went to LA. She did all that.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until that episode I was like, okay, I want to interview other creatives, you know? And then so my acting coach was like, well, how come you didn't ask me those kind of questions? I was like, because I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was like, I didn't know. I ended up like shifting the whole dynamic of the podcast. And for like like a year, maybe and a half, it's like the name didn't match anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so I did a podcast audit with some girl that she's an actor, I think, based out of LA, and her podcast is like acting. She offered like podcast audits. And so I did it.
What is that, by the way?
So she like audited my podcast because I wasn't getting any feedback. Like I barely got any views like on YouTube, right? I said second season because I separated by my seasons, but I was like 20 episodes in and I was just like, man, I was like, what am I doing wrong here? You know? And so I signed up to like, I paid like $300 and something and we sat down for like 90 minutes and she just went over the stuff. Like she listened to my podcast. She went over it, you know, audio, title, like
description.
Yeah, like stuff like that. And so she was telling me like, your podcast name doesn't match.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I was like, I knew it. I knew it because deep down I knew that it didn't match now. Right. With the way I was, you know, interviewing other creatives. So I was like, she was, you have to change your name. And I didn't want to because like, I had to go through all that work. I had to get a new logo. I decided to get like change the color schemes. I, you know, think of a new name. So it was just a lot, but I was like, well, I have to.
You know, have to start from ground zero all over again.
Yeah, it only made more sense for me in that time. But I kept my same Instagram. I just changed the, you know, the Instagram handle. I changed the YouTube handle, kept the same account, but yeah, that's when I changed it to on the come up, because like I interview people that have their come up journeys in the creative industry, you know, whether they're models, actors. It's just like how they started. And so just they're on the way up, you know, all the challenges they face. So it kind of just made more sense.
Yep. And that's why it makes all the more sense for us to have you on here, because that's a similar goal that we have on this podcast. I mean, that's all the guests that we bring on. We're bringing on all the upcoming rappers, all the upcoming R&B singers, all the upcoming athletes, business entrepreneurs. And you fall perfectly in that because you do the same thing with your line of work, and you're also one of them people yourself. So we got to give you your flowers. And that's why it makes perfect sense to us for us to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
For sure. So, have you had low moments where you just felt like, this is too hard, this is too stressful? And if so, what did you tell yourself to get you out of that grunt?
It was during that time where I was telling you, like, no one was looking. Like, I felt like my views were low, you know, 'cause you're your worst own critic. And so that's when I looked for opportunities. Like I told you, I did the audit and stuff. And because I didn't want to, like, I wasn't satisfied, basically, you know, so I wanted to feel like, okay, I feel better now. Yeah. You know, so that's why I took matters into my own hands to, like, you know, that was a lot for me at that point. It was like $300 some, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyways, you know? So it's like investing in yourself, because eventually it'll come out stronger.
Scary money don't make no money.
Right.
That's right.
You got to spend it. You got
So that's what it was for me. I was just like, after that little hurdle, then I started noticing, like, okay, people are like,
what?
More views, watching, followers. Then I started that. That was I think that was like the lowest I felt like in the podcast. And I was like, man, you know, like.
Yeah, like, man, ain't nobody watching it. What am I doing? I'm just staring at a camera.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm spending money, because I had a producer, because I don't know how to edit the podcast. Like when it comes to like the, you know, lining up the audio and the video, I don't know how to do that. So I had a producer that was behind the camera. And so I would pay him per episode.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was just like, I'm spending money, like, still every month doing this, producing this podcast, you know? And I was like, no one's watching. So it was like, okay. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm okay with spending this $300 for her to tell me what to do. And it honestly, it helped.
Yeah, it did work, because your most popular video, I did see you got 1,500, right? 1.5K on your most popular video on your channel.
Oh, which one was? I think
it was a model. I think you had a model on there.
She was. Is it at
I didn't feel for that though.
Is it at 1.5 now?
I think it's up there.
Yeah, I was like,
I know we be going crazy. We seen 1.5 on there.
Yeah. Hers, I think it's because her legs were showing.
Maybe. Hey, it sells. It sells.
But yeah, hers was. She also had a really good story. Like her mom had passed, and her mom was saying, like, you know, she was doing the modeling, you know, to make her mom proud. And honestly, that really touched me. And I was like, oh, I love that, because a lot of people don't really share like intimate, vulnerable moments, you know, especially when you're podcasting. Some people will share, but some people will will keep it at a surface level. But I think that kind of like shaped the rest of the episode. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, that was a good episode. I love that episode right there. Now, what you're interviewing though, I do gotta say, you're a real humble person. Like, is that like a common trait of you though? Like, are you just like a real like reserved, humble person?
Like when I interview a guest, or you're just saying?
Yeah, because like my observation, I'm just saying like my observation of you, like you're real humble and you're really like
conservative in a sense.
Yeah, reserved,
laid back,
kind of laid back. Is that really like how you would say you are, or is that just on camera?
No, I get a lot of like, oh, you're so quiet. You know, like, how do you have a podcast? You're so quiet. And I was just like, that's just, I'm very mellow. I'm very like, like I really have a soft-spoken voice, you know, so I'm not loud. I'm honestly, I'm not like even the bubbly type either. I'm just like, I probably have an RBF and people probably think I hate them when they look at me. But yeah, I'm just really like mellow tone. That's just...
Yeah, so it's just you. I would say I'm kind of the same. But is there ever a moment that you could remember where like you ever stepped out of that, or like someone ever tried you? You're like, yeah, all right, now I gotta show you. Now I'm not quiet no more.
Not really like a violent person.
Yeah. So never been confrontational.
Well, she says she's not gonna let anyone make her step out of her character, Cruz.
Unless,
That's good though.
unless you know,
Yeah.
like you are in a toxic relationship, it's a different story. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we all had those. We all know what
Yeah,
that's
that was
like.
the only time I'm like, okay, I'm out of character. But other than that, I'm pretty much
In your zone.
chill. Yeah.
That's good.
So, what would you say shaped you to become who you are today?
Honestly, just
The trial and error, the ups and downs.
I guess becoming, because I find myself being like really ambitious and career driven. And I don't think like in my early 20s, I say early 20s like I'm so old, but I wasn't that person, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started the modeling school and I started surrounding myself with other business owners. You know how I told you, like, I became friends with the lady that owned the modeling school. So I surrounded myself with people who were like high value and, you know, worked hard for what they had. And so that's the energy that I wanted to like become.
Association breeds similarity.
So that's when I found myself like ambitious, you know, like I want to do my career first before, like I don't have a family or anything, like my own kids. So I wanted to like figure out my career before I started, you know, a family or settling down and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you gotta know who you are before you can spread seeds and all that. So that's dope.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too, because not to say that you can't do it with the family, but if you want to chase your dreams, it's way easier to chase your dreams whenever you're just worrying about yourself. But if there's another person that's in this world because of you, I think it's harder for you to focus on your dreams and manage that. So I would agree with that statement right there.
Yeah, it's just easy for me right now. It's because it's like I know eventually, yes, right? I'm getting older, but it's easy for me just to get up and go, you know? And then now that I just opened my own business, now I'm really going to be like on the go. So it's just, I guess, I mean, just what works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the podcast studio right there. So how did you even get into that? Tell us more about that. How did that ball get rolling?
So I started recording my podcast in my apartment lounge, and it was a big open space.
Great production, by the way.
Right. So that's when, like, it was a big open space. So, but it was upstairs. So it was like above the leasing office. So you could hear when the phone would ring. You could hear like when the door would open. And that bothered me so bad because I was just like, if it bothers me, it probably bothers the listener.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And so I got to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm over this. And even when I did the audit, she said that the audio wasn't that good because I was in an open space. She goes, you need to be in the corner, in the back of the wall, or somewhere. Yeah. And I was in the middle, like, of this big lounge, you know? So the audio was, suppressing. And so I was like, okay, here we go again, right? So like, she's dumping all this stuff on me, you know, I got to change the name and now I got to find another space. And so I went to this, it's like a co-working space, but they have like day offices and they charge like an hour, $10 an hour. And I was like, oh, perfect. I was like, I just need it for an hour. Right. And I used their space, but it was like, I transitioned to like a desk and then the mics. And then I was like, I did it since February, right? So I did it for a few months. I moved to that office space for a few months. And I was like, to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't like this setup anymore. I was like, I don't like it. And I went to other podcast studios. Like I had a friend that she's a social media manager at Alamo City Studios in San Antonio. And she was like, come check out our podcast studio. And I was like, okay. And so I went, this was like a couple months ago, and I went and I was like, wow, this is nice, you know, like the whole setup and everything. And then I was just so over having like the desk and the mics on the desk.
Honestly, that's why we do what we do right now, because that's kind of what we were feeling.
We didn't like the mics hanging all, and it was just
the desk, like the normal podcast setup that you always see.
Right. So that's when I was just like, all right, I want my own space. I'm going to do it. And after visiting that podcast studio, and then I went to another one in Austin because I interviewed a couple more of the people in Austin, and this guy's setup was like crazy good, and I was just like,
I need it.
I need what you got going on back here. And so I kind of took some notes a little bit, like how the technical stuff he had, you know, like it was so crazy because he lives in like South America and he remotes in from the computer. I don't know how he does it. Oh. And I just came in, I just pressed recorded, we recorded, and I stopped, and that was it. Like he made it so seamless. Like I was just like, I want to do that. Yeah. You know, and he remoted it from the computer, and he didn't even live here. You know?
Wow.
And I was just like,
next level.
Crazy work. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and he has like 2 studios in Austin. And so I was just like,
let me put your brain.
I need to do some. And then so I like, my brother's like in college. He goes to UTA. So he does like, he helps out at that studio. And so I was like, okay, what kind of camera does he use? Like, what kind of system is that? You know, because I want to like do that. It was just so easy.
Make sure you put that in your backpack whenever you leave, right? we're going to need that.
So it just felt so easy for me. So I was like, you know what? I want to give people the space that I wish I had, you know? And so that's when I was just like, okay, I actually got a space in that same co-working space that I rent at the day office. Yeah. They offer like, you know, private offices. And so I leased out a room and made it my own.
So yeah. And so it's open to the public, right?
Yeah. So anyone can come and record. I have a website. It's roomtospeakstudios.com. So yeah, it's the home.
Hold on. One more time for him.
roomtospeakstudios.com.
Yep, right here. Yep, big as hell. Yeah, you know, like I do every time. Go rush that.
So yeah, anyone can come and record, and it's going to be the home for my podcast.
Yeah, that'll be dope. And make sure it's in Fort Worth.
Downtown Fort Worth. Yeah.
So great location. Y'all make.
What's the address again?
It's 600 West 6th Street.
Yeah,
Fort Worth, Texas.
One more time for him. Big as hell.
Yes,
I love that.
No, that's gonna be dope, and I think that's dope that you just because you know what you wanted to do. Well, you know what you want to do now, but you're giving all these people that are younger and in their early 20s an opportunity to even have freedom of speech and to speak their mind inside of a podcast studio. Because like you said, it's hard to start up because you got to get all the equipment. You got to find the space. And you're coming out of all this money. But I think that's amazing that you're able to help other people that have a creative mind and get to do what they want to do as well.
Yeah, I just keep telling myself, like you said about the investments, I was just like, you got to spend money to make money, because I'm just like, spending all this money because I bought everything. Like, the only thing I had was like my mics, and I had like an interface. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's just where you connect like the mics to it.
Oh, yeah.
To the computer. Yeah. So that's the only thing I had. I had like a couple mics and the interface, and I had to buy everything. Like, I had a couple lights, but I got a bigger light. But everything was like brand new, you know?
Yeah, it got to be the best, right?
Yeah.
You might as well buy the big stuff now so you don't have to keep replacing it. Because once you buy the cheap stuff, you're going to be like, oh, well, it's something better out there. It's something better out there. Yeah,
that's right. I was like, okay, I'm done spending money. It's time for me to make money now.
Seriously. And it's going to work for sure.
No, most definitely. Wait, so you said it's operational right now, right? You open right now?
Yeah, it's open now.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, y'all definitely go check that out. Outside of podcasting, though, what else you be interested in? Like, what are your favorite things?
Like hobbies?
Yeah.
I mean, I go to the gym.
There you go.
But
got a gym rat.
Other than that, body. I feel like I'm so like
focused on that grind right now.
It's either like, like last night I had a lot on the gig. Today I'm here doing the podcast. This morning or this afternoon I did. I offer like how to start a podcast workshops. I had someone sign up for that, and I did a one-on-one workshop on how to start a podcast this afternoon.
Oh,
you know, so like tomorrow I'm gonna do content for the studio. It's like I feel like my whole I guess the world revolves around what I do, but I feel it's to me it's like fun.
Yeah, when you love it, you're not working.
Yep.
Because, yeah, like, so I just find it fun. Like tomorrow I'm going to do some content so I can post on Instagram, for the studio. So it's like, that's what I do, I guess. And, go to the gym and hang out with friends. But
yeah. Where can you find the consultations? On the website as well?
Everything is on the website.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, hey, y'all make sure if y'all even want to start a podcast, tap in with her. She'll get you right.
Yep. On the website.
That's really cool, though. And that's kind of like where we want to go with this. And that's cool that you're at that stage already to where you're just doing what you want to do. The things that make you happy in life. And honestly, so that's how I feel like both of us feel about this podcast. I mean, we do it because it makes us happy. Like, it's fun doing this.
Yeah.
And I think also adding on to what you said earlier, I feel like just doing it and continuously doing it, it just keeps opening more opportunities for us to have that reality where we could be like you eventually, to where we just do the podcast and the content. And that'll be like that'll be our main income.
Well, I do have a day job, so that's another thing.
Well, what do you
I
do?
do work Monday through Friday. I work at the Tarrant County Courthouse. I work for the constable's office.
Oh, no way.
So I have a little local government job. And it's funny because when they hired me, they did like a background check and they knew I had a podcast. I was like, damn it. I was like, y'all are supposed to know. But I mean, so they know I model and I have a podcast, but that's what pays my rent, my day job. But eventually my plan is to, I don't know if I should say this, but make my main source of income through the studio, through acting, through modeling. Yeah, but I have to play it smart right now. So
yeah. We don't know if we're gonna keep that in there. We'll make sure. We'll double check on that one.
Yeah, just in case they over here watch.
Yeah, it's okay. Let them keep watching. Hey, but working at the courthouse though, I know you got some stories. So what's the craziest thing that you've seen working there?
People just be coming in and like thinking I know everything. I don't know everything. Because I do like paperwork stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like anything from like, evictions to like family to small claims to stuff like that. So I just do the paperwork stuff, but people will come in and be like thinking I know everything. I was like, that's a question for attorney. And then it's like they think we're not helpful, but we can't give legal advice. So it's like, how do
I get a bond reduction?
I don't know.
I'm definitely not the person.
I was like, that's something totally different. I was like, it's not what we do here. But I was like, we just serve the papers. Like if you want to file, you got to go somewhere else to file.
Say over there. You can't kick me out. How do they do that? Like, sir, how do you deal with that?
Literally. And they're like, I have an eviction. I was like, and I really want to be like, well, how come you just didn't pay your rent?
Hey, look,
like,
it's that simple.
When are they supposed to come kick us out? Because they said I have a red tag on my door. They put the red tags on the doors and said like, you have to be out in like 24 hours. But I was just like, I don't know. That's between your leasing office and the deputy, not me.
But I just work here.
Yeah, people are crazy.
No, I can imagine. Last time I went to the courthouse, someone brought a gun with them on purpose and told the cops, I have a gun on me. And they arrested him. I don't know why he thought it was going to be better if he told the cops, I have a gun on me. But this guy, no bullshit, he had a Uzi on him with a silencer. A big, giant gun. Pulled it out in the courthouse. I was like, yeah, guys, I have a gun on me. They're like, yeah, you're going to jail. Put your hands behind your back. What are you doing?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen, because we have the metal detector. It's like you have to go.
Yeah.
And
so he showed up there and pulled it out and was like, yeah, I have this. As if like that was his keys or something. Like, bro, that's not your keys.
Left that in the car, bro.
Yeah, you should have left that in the car.
Yeah, I've seen this one homeless lady come in. And you know how it's kind of like the airport, so you have to like put all your stuff in the bucket. She had a comforter, she had bags, she had backpacks. I was like, they really let her in with all this stuff?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Because like, you gonna pick up the bag, got the blanket over your shoulder, you gonna walk through the courthouse. Like, what?
Yeah. So I'm just like, all right, not my business.
Now that's about to judge some gifts.
And that's dope because I already know how like having a job and a podcast, and of course you're modeling and acting all in one. Does it ever become overwhelming to you?
It's only when I'm like literally sitting behind my desk and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and I'm just sitting here. But it's like, but I'm working, like I have to be here.
Yeah, I gotta pay my bills.
So it's kind of hard where I'm just like, oh, I have so much to do, and then if I have stuff to do, like for the podcast on the computer, like I don't want to go home and be on the computer again.
Yeah, I feel
so I have to take some time. Like when I get home, I just want to sit on my couch for a little bit, and then I'll get on my computer. But it's kind of like, especially like during the day, like I'm just like, oh, I have so much to do, but here I am
at work.
But
I love my job.
But it's like, one day I was like, okay, one day.
Yeah, but that's what gives you that drive to push yourself to the next level. And just from hearing your story, I love your story because you do things that make you uncomfortable and then you become comfortable in it. So the acting, the modeling, all of that was uncomfortable at first, but now you're flourishing in all of those aspects. So keep doing what you're doing because it's going to work.
Yeah, uncomfortable for sure. Especially when I did the modeling school, I was like, shy, like we had to pose in front of the mirror. I was like, I don't want to do that. But yeah, that was a lot of uncomfortableness for me. But now it comes just like natural.
And would you say you're competitive? Would you say that's part of your traits?
I don't know if you would call it like competitive, because I think everybody is good at what they do in their own way, and I wouldn't like.
See, you too humble, Kim.
I wouldn't like. She could be better at, because I don't like run away. I'm not a runway model. I'm not tall enough for that. Like I said, I like the commercial work. Like she could be better at doing runaway because that's her niche. She's like a 5'9", tall, feminine woman, and I was just like, that's what she's good at. So I don't see no competition because I was just like, that's not what I want to do anyway.
Yeah. So that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I guess I'm too competitive. That's my issue.
Yeah.
But I like that. I'm gonna start looking at it like that too. Like I'm doing good at what I'm good at, and they're good at that. That's their niche. Yeah. I like that.
That's a good way of looking at it. So back to on the come up though. Besides the thing that you've already stated, what's one of the biggest things that you learned from doing on the come up? Because you're already in season 4 already.
Yeah.
So you've been a vet to this. What do you think is the biggest thing that you learned?
I've learned that a lot of people are like go through the same thing as far as like challenges and struggles, and it's all not glitz and glamour, because social media is a highlight reel.
It is.
And people only show you what they want to show you, and people don't know how they got to where they got to. And like, don't judge like someone off the, I guess you could say, their social media, because I had someone say, I moved here, I lived on my friend's couch, I had my stuff in trash bags, I was homeless, and then he's like this model, top model now. And it's like, that's crazy. Like I would have never thought, like looking at your social media, I would have never thought you moved here with 2 trash bags and you were sleeping on your friend's couch. So it was like, you really got to respect the grind, and I just love that everybody has their story. And they all just like came up from somewhere. Yeah.
There's like the Mr. Beast thing. He basically says, and he puts it like, for the first 4 years of you doing YouTube, he said nobody's gonna be watching your videos. He said, but if you're consistent and you keep going, he said you're gonna be good, just like anything else. If you're practicing a sport, if you're doing anything that you want to be good at, repetition and just dedication will get you to where you want to go.
100%.
Yeah, and people will notice more consistent. I get that a lot. Like, oh, you're people that know me, that watch me, that have me on social media, like, oh, you're consistent. Like, I respect that you're consistent. Like, that's what I'll hear that. Yeah. And so people respect the consistency and they trust you, and that's what builds your momentum.
Sure.
So, as far as like the community goes, how much of a role do you think, involving yourselves with like-minded businesses and like-minded creators. How much of a role do you think that plays as far as like blowing up your brand?
I think it's, as a community, it's your number one thing is you should like network, find different people, not just in your niche, but like that supports a community. That way y'all can like grow together. Like they can always just, this person may have a real estate business, but they can refer you to someone that they know that has a podcast. I think it's just networking is the number one thing. I used to be so scared to network. I don't know why. I was like, I didn't want to drive to Dallas and go to these network things by myself, in the very beginning. But I realized how important it is because I was like, you can literally meet people and build a community.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
And no matter what they do, like someone that knows someone will know someone and will like notice you, And so I think that's very important just to like network and find your people, and that are like-minded like you.
100%.
No, and that's why I think it's really important too, because whenever you're dealing with these individuals, they have a following just like you have a following. And even if you tell your following, hey, go over there, they won't listen until they actually see you over there with that brand that you want them to go over there with, and vice versa. That's why I think it's good to actually collaborate and network and get out there in the community because they understand what it is to try to get it. Yeah, and that's why I think it's good as well. Yeah. So, is there any other creatives in the city that you want to highlight? So you got a lot of good interviews. Once again, on the Come Up podcast. Go rush that.
ASAP, no Rocky.
Yeah.
What you say? Clock it.
Clock it.
Yeah, clock it.
That was a very humble clock it. Yeah. Hey, but yeah, is there anybody in the city that you want to highlight you feel like deserves some of the light?
Like you're talking about like any creatives?
Any creatives.
I don't like to single like my guest out or anybody out, but I just feel like anyone who's doing the damn thing, like keep doing it. Yeah. Follow your passions and like you will get there. Like you will get where you want to be. Just stay consistent and be nice, network, and just do your own thing. Stay in your lane though. Yeah.
So I like what you said. Be nice and stay in your lane. That's the two main things I got. Because real talk, people are assholes for no reason. Like, and I don't understand why. Yeah. But if you're nice, you can get a lot of stuff being nice. Like, from just a simple hello to a smile, it's all contagious. So if I'm going to be an asshole to you, of course you're going to be an asshole right back to me. So being nice, hey, kids, be nice.
Yeah, what's the golden rule?
Be nice.
Do unto others as you want.
Facts. That's the one, Cruz. That's the one, Cruz.
Hey, one thing that my dad always told me growing up, and it's a quote that I'll always live by. He said, respect is the cheapest and easiest thing that you can give in this world, and it'll take you the farthest. Yeah. It doesn't cost you nothing to respect somebody and to be nice and to be a good person. Yeah. And honestly, like Marco said, that'll get you the farthest. You don't know how far a handshake or a simple hello will take you.
For real.
But being someone's friend, yeah. Very, very good. Very good as well. Yep. And we are getting to that point of the show, guys. We are at the end. But like we do with all of our guests, we're going to get it right with some of these hypotheticals. Yeah. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar, this is where me and Marco, and we just like to have fun. This is our fun part of the show.
For sure.
Yeah. Nothing taken seriously. This is all hypothetical. Yep. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So, if you could trade places with any cartoon character, who would it be and what would you do?
Who would it be? Does it have to be like an animated or can it be like real life?
It can be real life.
Yeah, we can do real life too,
yeah.
Because why is the first person coming to my head is Cat in the Hat.
Hey, watching that movie again though, I gotta say there was a whole lot of things I missed as a kid.
Right?
No,
like,
seriously.
Too much going on.
Nah, a lot of stuff went over my head going up.
Yeah. That's a good one though. I like that.
That's the first thing that came to my head because like you're in a fantasy land, like those houses are nice, and you're jumping from bed to ceiling to the floor, and you're breaking like everything. Like, you know.
And imagination is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rhymes was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite line out the movie is whenever he steps on the hoe, he said, "Ah, you dirty hoe." Sorry, baby. You know I love you.
Yeah, that's crazy. They call it like a kids movie, but that was like,
No, seriously.
yeah.
But now that I'm older, a lot of TV shows and a lot of older movies for sure had adult content in it that just went over a child's head.
But I think I figured it out now, though. Now that I watch it, I'm like, you know what? As a parent, if I had to watch this with my kid, that's what would have made me laugh. As a parent, that's what would have made me interested to even watch this, to even sit down for it.
I can do that.
Because they're not going to catch it anyway.
Yeah.
But you know
like,
the language, so you're going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You dirty host.
Right? Bro, didn't even catch it as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so if On the Come Up had a theme song made by any artist, past or present, who is it? Who making that for you?
Drake.
We got a Drake. Yeah.
So with the recent beef, you was obviously Team Drake, right?
I definitely would.
Oh yeah.
And so I can't say they not like us. They not like us. I can't say that, huh?
Mm-mm. You gotta wait till I leave.
So what's your favorite song by?
I don't have a favorite song, but if I had to pick like a theme song, I don't know. I'm thinking of that What's Next. I'm making a change today.
I like that one. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. So do you like old Drake or new Drake? As in like as his style has changed and progressed throughout the years.
My favorite album was Take Care. I would have to give him that. Yeah, but I mean, I'm such a like
Drake fan.
Yeah, that I love everything.
For sure. That's valid.
Yeah. He do got the bangers.
He does. He does.
And if your younger self could listen to one episode of On the Come Up, which one would it be, and why would you want her to listen to it?
I would listen to. So this was when I had the old name. So this was like back in season 2, but it was episode 8, and his name was Jake. So it was like episode 8 with Jake, right? Hey. So that's he was an actor. That's the one he was funny, and he asked questions about me too. You know, like he was intrigued about my also same likings as him, and I would go listen back and listen to that one because it was funny, and it just felt like an at-home episode.
Yeah. I love those episodes. Whenever it doesn't feel like you're pulling teeth with the guest, but the guest is actually like they understand the format. I'm like, I'm not under a time limit. Okay, I could just say what I feel like and actually keep the shit rolling. Like keep the energy up. I love those energies.
Oh yeah, I know the pulling teeth ones. I've had a couple of those. I'm like, all right.
Come on, give me something. Give me something.
Yeah. Those are a little tough. You really gotta do your job as being the interviewer and be like, all right.
Yeah, like, do you want to promote yourself or not?
Literally. That's that simple.
Doing what I can here. Yeah. So those are the best. I love those. And one more time, let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me at That Girl with the Podcast, and you can find my podcast at On the Come Up _podcast. And you can find my studio at Room to Speak Studios. Address 600 West 6th Street, Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, sir. It's big as hell right here. Yeah. Go rush that.
Yes, sir. And what they say before we leave, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all tap in with it. What's up? What you got?
Positively Paid. Can't forget. Positively Paid. Make sure y'all go check in with them too. Big shout out to them.
Yeah. I'll show them the back again. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Positively.
Positively paid, positively made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But again, like I said, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Tap into all of her stuff. And again, without further ado,
yeah.